Despite what I said yesterday, everything this morning still seems pretty damp. So I'm not going to water this morning. I did put in a couple of stakes preliminarily for hose stops because I realized as I was watering yesterday, I was dragging the hose through the beds. But I got these weird big rebar bolts this winter. They're like 48 inches. No, not 48 inches. Well, they're at least 2.5 feet long. So I've got those, and I need to get something heavy to drive them in further. So those will be the stops for the hose. And if I need more, I've got more. I bought like 3 dozen of them. I fixed hopefully my hand sprayer so it's not leaking down my arm all the time. But I thought, let me show you around now that things aren't quite so hectic. So we talked about the asparagus beds. Here's asparagus bed number 1. And you can see these asparagus on this side are doing really well. They came up right away and are doing really, I'm really pleased with how they're doing. The other set, the second set I got in, not so much. And I don't know if it's because when I got them, I didn't have time to soak them. And I probably should have taken the time, but I just put them in the ground as is. So I think they didn't have enough energy to get going this year. Hopefully they'll kick in next year, but we'll have to wait and see. The other thing you'll notice in this bed is an amazing lack of strawberry plants. I've got one there and one there and a little one there, and that's it. So this is supposed to be the June bearing strawberries, and none of them came up. Whereas in the asparagus bed over here, again, you can see the same response with the Millennium versus the Purple Passion strawberry asparagus. But strawberry, 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 strawberry. That one's got a flower on it. Strawberry with a flower on it. Strawberry, strawberry. So this bed did great for the strawberries. And these would be the everbearing. So I don't know what the difference is between the two beds. So I may go and try and get some more June-bearing strawberries. One of the farm stands in town has big pots of them for like $5-6. So, and then I'll just whack those in so they at least have a chance to get established. I'm not getting fruit off of these this year, and I didn't expect to. So no harm, no foul there. But I did want them to get established so that next year they'd be ready to go. But no such luck. The salad green bed isn't doing so hot. Somebody has pulled out another one of my radishes, so I guess I'm going to get rid of those. The lettuces are finally starting to take off. These are lettuces that I bought, and some radicchio that my mentor's wife Julie gave me, and they haven't really moved. I'm not sure why not. And then this bed, oh look, my salad turnips got pulled up, and it wasn't quite ready. But they're very cute, aren't they? I'm going to cover that one up and see if it... So, my salads are not going great. I never did get this batch of onions in, and at this point I don't know if I will. But I do have a little row of scallions coming up there with another one of my pulled up radishes. This bed definitely needs weeding, so I'll give that some attention. The spinaches are finally starting to have some motion. We'll see what's going to happen with those. This is empty, so I've got to figure out something to put in there. And this is a mixture of weeds and Chinese greens. So I've got a couple of kinds of bok choy, and this row is supposed to be tatsoi. And it looks like that's the tatsoi maybe coming up. But again, not doing very well. I don't know if this bed's going to make the season. I may have to put something else in here. This is my winter squash bed. So you saw me plant that just a few days ago. And nothing's really poking its head up yet. I did put a couple of those marigolds in here to prevent squash beetles. Squash beetles and borers are my absolute nemesis. So I'm hoping maybe I'm not going to have that problem here, but we'll see. The peas are doing wonderfully. I mean, look at all of the peas. They're just coming right up over their strings. I'm going to have to put some more strings down. The beets along the front aren't doing so well. They germinated very patchily. So I'm going to have to come through here and plant some more. Although I am noticing little nibbles. So it's definitely getting some visitation, which is not helping germination at all. I did catch a little rabbit in what's going to be my compost area this morning. So I suspect that that's that culprit. Until my next big project is the chicken coop. The next project after that is fencing off the garden. So there's nothing I can do until I can get a fence up. So we'll make do with what we've got, and Lord love the rabbits. First year in a new garden is not the most productive, so I am not gonna begrudge them any of the goodies out of it, but oof. All right, cucumbers. So the cucumbers were doing okay, but it looks like as they're getting their primary leaves, they're getting nibbled on. I think I'm going to have to put out some slug traps, because, yeah, that's a lot of cucumbers eaten down. And I can't tell. A lot of these are weeds, but that's about where I put all those parsnips in. And I can't tell. I guess those are probably the parsnip starts. So I'll leave those be and see what comes up. My cauliflower has all been decimated. Again, rabbits, slugs, I suspect it's the rabbit, but the cauliflower is gone, so I'm going to have to get some more. And it looks like they're working on the cabbages now. So I may have to get cabbages too. The tomatoes are looking a little better now that they've gotten watered. So this row is my Costaludos, and these are Amish paste and some San Marzanos, I think. Oh no, hog heart paste. So those are doing okay. It looks like I need to replace a couple of them, but I don't have anything to replace them with. So the slicing tomatoes are looking, for the most part, are looking great. So I'm not too worried about those. The basil that I put in is going very slowly. So we'll see what happens with those. My peppers and onions have been left pretty much alone. So I've got a couple of holes here and here. I put a nasturtium in where my third jalapeno was. But they're off to a slow start, but I'm willing to bet that this next week is going to give them the jolt that they need. Again, this is where the zucchinis were that I put in the other day. Oh, is that a... No, that's just my marigolds. I did find out that the multi-picks that I put in down on this end are yellow. So I've got yellow, green, yellow. No. Yes, yellow, green, yellow, yellow. So I'm going to have a lot of yellow squash. All right, this batch of onions is looking pretty good so far. A little bit of digging. They haven't gotten to the cauliflower yet, so the cauliflower is slowly doing its thing. The Brussels sprouts look okay. Please leave my Brussels sprouts alone. So I've got these ones and those ones there. My leeks are looking pretty good. And these onions are looking good. So I'm not too worried about those at the moment. Then there's the potatoes, which look fan-frickin-tastic. I can't believe how big these are. I have to get in and get them mulched. I really would like to just get a full... Uh-oh. What's that little bugger? I don't know what that little bugger is. I suspect he's bad news though, so I'm going to take this off and cast him into the weeds. Away with you. Alright, so we'll see. As I was saying, I'd really like to just get 2 bales of straw and just mound these up with the straw, cover it all the way up to the top. Yeah, that's a lot of straw, but straw is cheaper than soil, and it'll do what we need it to do. So I would much rather do that. And then, last but not least, is the melon bed that we put in the other day. And I don't see anything coming up from these. Now again, they're going to need a few more days. Get out of the garden bed. So that's where we are. With the weather being what it's going to be for the next few days, well, right now it's looking like until Monday before we get a break. I think I might run out to the greenhouse and see if I can get some plants to fill in some of these holes. And maybe some straw if I can find it. The rule of thumb is that you don't want to leave your ground uncovered because moisture is going to evaporate out of it faster and it's going to encourage weeds. I want to use my grass clippings as much as I can, and I do have a sweeper that's supposed to be coming sometime in the next 2 weeks. But especially for the potatoes, since that needs to be so deep, I'll probably just try and get a couple of bales of straw if I can find somebody who's selling it. Other than that, that's the garden. The figs are responding in a mixed fashion to getting potted up in their respective pots. I'm going to leave the roses for today. Maybe I'll try and get them in the ground tonight, depending on how hot it is. And that's it for the hard work I'm going to do today. I'm just going to I do not do well in hot weather. So I'm not going to press myself or have high expectations. If I can do some planting and some weeding, then I think I will be doing pretty well. To absolutely no one's surprise, I've had a quick change of plans. On my lunch break, I ran out to the, what is that called? Garden center. That's what it's called. And I picked up, well, I picked up a lot of things. I got more flowers for the front, which is not what I went for, but look at the color on these double salmon snapdragons. I just love them. So I got those. Whoop. And I also got the veggies, the replacement veggies I needed. I got cabbages, I got cauliflower, including a really cool looking purple one. I got a couple more tomatoes just to fill in some holes. I got dill and basil, and I got, look at the size of these marigolds to put in the squash beds. And I got a couple of sunflowers just because I wanted sunflowers and I didn't start any. So I want to whack those in tonight so they have time to start getting acclimated before the heat hits tomorrow. So I'll get those in and get everything watered. But I just scored on Facebook Marketplace rain barrel, which I'm going to put up in the corner there on the shed so that when the rain comes, coming from both sides, it'll come into that corner and go down into the rain barrel. And then I can just use a watering can when I just need to do one-off watering. But I have to run into town to pick that up, so I'll be right back. My water tank. It's pretty basic. The thing I like best about it is that the lid has the mesh on it, so it doesn't have to have any kind of ductwork coming down into it. It has an overflow pipe already set up here, so if it gets too full, that's going to just run out. It also has a pipe here, so I could connect it to a second one if I wanted to. I don't really want to with this one. That's not what this is intended for. I may put a larger tank on the end of the shed at some point, but not right now. And it does, on this side, have a spigot, so I can put it up on a platform and turn that to fill my watering can or whatever. Mostly what I plan to do is just take the top off it and dip my watering can in to fill it. But I'm not going to worry about this today because I have to build a platform for it yet. And it's already 7 o'clock and I've got to get these plants in the ground. So let's go plant some stuff. optimistic people. Every seed we plant is going to grow easily, big and healthy, and have plenty of fruit or vegetables, whatever, on it. And our beds will be clean and luscious and weed-free, and everything is just going to be perfect. We are also realists, and we know that that is a pipe dream and that is not what's going to happen. I'm trying to manage my expectations with this garden. I put it in very late. I don't have all the protections in place that it really needs. I don't have fences. I don't have any kind of rabbit proofing, any of that. I don't have mulch. I was noticing a significant difference in the moisture content in the beds that had straw on them versus the beds that did not. And I'm really kicking myself for not pursuing getting straw more aggressively, especially now that it's too late. So all we can do is keep on with what we've got. I will water everything morning and night, and I'll try and get the last couple of things in the ground. I still don't know where to put those blackberries, but if I can get the roses in the ground tomorrow, I'll feel better. I think that's it for the big garden. I'm gonna go plant the flowers out front. Not the carefully laid out thematic flower garden that I wanted, but it's got flowers in it. And what more can you ask from a flower garden? It's 8:45, but it's done. Ooh, and so now I just have to be really committed to watering for the next 4 days. I may experiment with sprinkler on the front garden, but I want to keep hand watering in the vegetable garden just to keep an eye on things and see where my problems are. I do have a deer and rabbit deterrent coming. It's not supposed to get here till Wednesday, but hopefully that'll help protect some of those cauliflower. That's why I planted those a little densely. A, because I didn't want any of those plants to go to waste, and B, it gives the rabbits extra to eat. And I didn't bother to put the hoses away because I'm just going to have to drag them all out again tomorrow. The sky looks like it should be getting ready to rain, but there's no rain in the forecast. And I haven't sweat this much since I was backpacking. But on that note, I'm going to go in and take a shower and, I don't know, maybe think about eating something. Sometimes when you work that hard, eating's the last thing you want to do. And I grabbed a piece of pizza when I was out getting the water barrel, so at least I'm not starving. So I have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring besides watering. I've got a couple of indoor projects, so maybe we'll be working on one of those, and maybe something else will come up completely unexpected. So come back and see what we do. Oh, I got dirty. Good night, everybody.